Hello, welcome to the TV Ramble for this Sunday, January the 18th, Championship Sunday. Should be a good TV viewing night all around on all the networks. Let's get right to it on some of the news. Uh, Good news if you're a fan of Gotham, Brooklyn Nine, and of course the new hot show Empire. All shows have been renewed by Fox, so for next season, and I'm hoping that Empire will make its usual debut like it did, this past week when it made its debut around January. And hopefully, Fox is smart and they will not try to rush this new episodes, and try to debut it during the fall season, which I think would be a bad idea. But yeah, so good news on that. Gotham, we already knew it was already a sure hit already, and of course, completely different than the basis of the character of Bruce Wayne, and turning into the superhero Batman. This is more, not I say not gruesome, but more darker than some of the other shows or films that have evolved around the character of Bruce Wayne, who turns into the Cape Crusader Batman. Good move by Fox for now. Obviously, in its first year, it's been an enormous hit for them. Of course, Sleepy Hollow has also been renewed, so that's pretty much a very good Monday night block. I mean, it is done very well, very competitive up against Dancing with the Stars and the Bachelor or the Bachelorette shows that be on ABC. Also with The Voice on NBC, and of course CBS's comedy block going into their dramas, whether it be NCIS Los Angeles or Scorpion this year. Um, so very good news for them, for Fox. It's of course Empire. I love, again, as I mentioned, great show, very well written. Of course, created by Lee Daniels and Dan Strong, and of course the stars Taraji P Henson and Terrence Howard. Good news for them. Now, um, also, it looks like that the whole reboot of another talk of possibly doing another 24 might be put on hold. Um, Keith Sutherland wasn't so sure. Also, there was a possibility of maybe um, having it without the Jack Bauer character, and I say that would kind of, what's the point of 24? I mean, everything evolves around Jack Bauer and what he's done. Of course, Keith Sutherland has become a big star, even a huge big star from that show. I was a fan of the show, well, for many years, so I still, from time to time, caught up right now on season four, for a little bit of season four that I've tried to get to and watch, here and there on Netflix. But there's sort of no plans by Fox or the producers to do another 24. Of course, they did ran a sort of the 24 episodes, a new 24 this past summer, and it turned out pretty well. I didn't get a chance to watch it. A lot of things was going on. So with me, but who knows? It may come back. It may. Kiefer Sutherland, the producers, may decide to redo it, or maybe do another 24 movie like they did 3 years ago, which was a huge success for Fox. So we'll see. Now, also possible for a revival is the X Files. Again, another show that also made Fox what it is. Show that had David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson, which made them big stars, and of course it was very well done show. Vince Gilligan got his start as a writer on that show. Of course, the creator of Breaking Bad. Uh, so a revival I can understand. You want, as this is sort of bring the new viewers in again, like just like with these movies, that these remakes and these superheroes or remakes of movies that happened back in the 80s. I understand, or in the 90s. I know you want to get a new generation of young people coming up to look back, or to sort of, I guess, have them fall in love with the show as we did. But I just feel you need to come with some better ideas. I meant something better, something completely different. I meant I mean, the X Files was a special show, and doing a revival, just like even trying to do a revival, like doing a revival of the Brady Bunch. What's the point? It's a certain show that's for a certain time period, and it's best to be left during that time and not to be created or recreated once again. It's what for? So, um, so hopefully that's what they want to do, and I don't see it being something that I would say would be something that would would work. I just seen that it will completely die a slow death. I know they tried to redo another Beverly Hills 90210 on the CW, and I don't think that really turned out well. But then the CW's audience doesn't get that many viewers anyway. So anyway, moving on. There's going to be a possibility of NBC going to do a live version of The Wiz, sort of The Wizard of Oz. Well, let's say The Wiz was a remake of The Wizard of Oz, the film that had Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, the late Michael Jackson, Nipsey Russell. I think Richard Pryor was in it. It was very popular, but since it's airing, and of course it was also a Broadway play with Stephanie Mills, the singer Stephanie Mills. The film didn't do so well, but it's remained popular. Has sort of a cult following, particularly within the Black community, who's seen the film. Now they're going to do a live version of it. Of course, going with the success of Sound of Music, which came on about a year and a half ago. And then this past year, we had with Peter Pan Live. Sound of Music, of course, with Carrie Underwood, and then you had Peter Pan Live with Allison Williams and Christopher Walken, and now this. So I don't know. Again, it was a very clever catch again for something around Christmas time, as both shows aired during that period, and would probably air this coming Christmas of 2015, and give young audiences, young fans, sort of my little girl. I mean, she loves Peter Pan. She ever since the live version came on, now she wants to watch all the old anything that's Peter Pan, whether it's the cartoon, whether it's the other stage plays that have been out, one with Sandy Duncan, the other with Kathy Rigby. The of course the original that came out many years ago on NBC um, with Mary Martin. She's seen that, and and then there's an interactive game of Peter Pan she likes to watch. And then the year before is the same thing with Sound of Music. The old version she watched as well as the live version. Since the live version came out, she not only watched the live version many times, but also the original version with Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer. So we'll see. I think it's something that may work. As we've seen the last 2 years with the both shows, they have done huge success for NBC ratings wise. So the same may happen here. So good luck to them in terms of they haven't found out who the stars are going to be. Guess they'll start doing casting call on that. So might be the same producers who did the first two plays may be involved in this. So we'll see. Also. There is possibly the Red Band Society, a show that had Oscar and Octavia Spencer. Uh, of course, it was removed off the lineup by Fox for whatever reason due to low numbers. Now the show may be put on as a filler for during the summer. You want to compete with the cable networks and even the streaming sites and give them something to watch. I haven't seen an episode of it, but I'm a fan of Octavia Spencer's. I like her work. Of course, became known by her Oscar performance in the Help. So it's sort of a show about a doctor who was no nonsense doctor, but also has a very compassionate side to her, and looking after a bunch of interns and even some other doctors. So it's a sort of, I would say, a knockoff of Grey's Anatomy, or the character of Grey's Anatomy, the no nonsense doctor played by Chandra Wilson. I don't know if the character is kind of similar, maybe, who knows? But it's kind of that same style. No nonsense. I'm not going to take any gruff, but also she has a very sincere, genuine side to her. So Um, Fox may move the show to during the summer, which would again, just like with another show that I watch a lot during the summer. So you think you can dance. Um, you know, I think it will be something I could maybe get into and sort of catch up and watch and say, okay, what's this here? So, um, I think that would be a move for them to sort of kind of say, hey, maybe we'll make this as a summer show or a show for mid-season or in the summer instead of during the fall season. So we'll see what happens there. Also, Kiki Palmer, Abigail Breslin, and even Leah Michelle are possibly will be joining this new show called Scream Queens. I don't know anything about this show, but Ryan Murphy, of course, the creator of Glee, and you have Kiki Palmer and Abigail Breslin, and even the hot actor Joe Manganiello, I think that's his name, Mangillo. He was in Sabotage with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and of course, he's the boyfriend of Sofia Vergara right now, or possibly could, or maybe fiance, whatever. As if you watch those Access Hollywood shows, whatever. But Ryan Murphy's name is behind it, of course, the guy behind one of my favorite shows of all time that I watched, Nip Tuck. Um, he'll put his name behind it, and so it would be, look at something that could be a win-win. Of course, Ryan, and of course, he behind not only Glee and Nip, and also not only Nip Tuck, but also Glee, another show that's been a huge success for Fox as well. So and so having their names attached to this should, something we should look forward to right there. So anyway, looking at what's going on tonight, of course, as I mentioned, start it is Championship Sunday. You have two big NFL games. Of course, we'll decide who's going to go to the Super Bowl. First game is going to start at 3 Eastern and 2 Central, 12 noon Pacific between Green Bay and Seattle. And then, of course, the late game. CBS has the late slot today at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, 3:30 Pacific, with Indianapolis visiting New England. So all the prognosticators and even me, I'm kind of feeling this is going to be a Seattle New England Super Bowl, but which NBC would love, but then again, like you said, the games have to be played, so you never know. But if the number, hold on, it kind of looked like it would be a Seattle New England Super Bowl, and of course Brady versus Russell Wilson, Brady the Brady Belichick combo. Trying to get their fourth Super Bowl. Of course, their last two attempts, both of them against my New York Giants, ended up in failure for the Pats. Um, of course, but still, you got to give props to the Patriots what they've done. Since they started their run back in 2001, 2002, and how they've been consistent, for all these many years, and going against a rising star right now, and Andrew Luck, who many say sort of now could be possibly the heir apparent of both Manning and Brady and even Big Ben, as their years are about to slowly wind down now. For both quarterbacks, Luck seems to be the next big superstar or major quarterback, him, and also Russell Wilson of the Seahawks as well. So, um, and so that should be an entertaining game, but I kind of feel like the Patriots are going to pretty much win this handily. Not handily, but I say close, but I think the Patriots will win. Of course, the earlier game, of course, you have Aaron Rodgers, still one of the right up there, one of probably the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. More than likely will win the MVP this year. After his performance last week against the Cowboys, I say, give it to him right now. Again, I mentioned against Russell Wilson. Here he is, up and coming star in the NFL, but more so is the Seattle defense and his and how they play. I think the defense is probably as best we've seen since, to me, I always say the Bears. I know, or even my Giants teams that won back in the 80s and 90s. I think again defense wins championships, and I think there's no more. stringent, more fierce defense we've seen since, like I said, than Seattle's. And I guess Seattle's could be ranked today with the Bears, with the Giants teams I've mentioned back in the 80s and 90s. If you also want to throw in the Baltimore Ravens defense that won it back in 2001, excuse me, 2000, then won the Super Bowl 2000 against, I guess, my New York Giants, Super Bowl 35. Ugh. So, you could rank that Seattle's defense right there against those defenses, or match it. Um, will can Packers withstand and hold on to what they're against against this very tough and very strong Seattle defense? Can he make the same plays that he made last week against the Cowboys, or what he's done all season? So we'll see. So those are the two games this week that will, of course, both games I expect and guarantee will get huge audiences, particularly the late game. So I think all the networks are pretty much are in repeats tonight. I know NBC is going to be airing the film Bridesmaids. Fox's all are airing repeats of their shows: The Simpsons, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Family Guy, and Bob's Burgers. ABC is probably the only network that's running new programming, but I think that's going to pretty much get crushed. Depends on how close the game is between Indianapolis and New England. But that's pretty much it for this ramble. I'll try to have all the overnights tomorrow afternoon on MLK Day. Of course, if you all lucky to be off, you can see. If not, oh well. But I'll still have post the overnights for those. So this is the longest video I've done here. But anyway, I'm calling the wrap. Thank you for watching this TV ramble. Bam.